Hey everybody, it's Kayla back at Literary Gladiators with another individual video. Today I'm going to be telling you guys about the series I've been reading. I've been reading the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. She also wrote the Avatar series, or A Court of Thorns and Roses, which I am a huge fan of. I would say that's probably in my top 10 series of all times. So to basically just give you guys a quick summary of what this is about, in it you have to just go with the fact that Fae are real. Magic has kind of been silenced throughout the realm that we're living in, and a king rules over the continent. So our main character is Selena Sardothian. She basically becomes the king's royal assassin. And the first book very much has like Hunger Games meets magic meets murder mystery kind of vibes. So if you're into that sort of thing, I think that you would really, really enjoy this. It does spread out into this like really vast world from the first book. So chances are, if you're into YA, you'll find something in the series that you like. It's very, very diverse and spread out. So some things that I do really enjoy about this are the strong female characters. I think that Sarah J. Maas's strongest point is her female characters. I think she writes incredibly diverse, whole, and complete females. So in this series, you have a couple of different types. You've got your classically strong Arya Stark type of characters who are just kind of like tough as nails. They're strong, they're sassy, they're not afraid of violence. But you also have more feminine strong women, which I really like. I feel like you don't get to see a whole lot of women who are using their wit and wile to get what they want versus like their strength. I feel like a lot of novels write girly girls as being kind of weak, whereas Sarah J. Maas does a really good job of still portraying them as strong. And then you have some really good like underdogs who show a lot of resilience in this story too. So not everybody is one or the other. A lot of people have to find their own strength in this story, and I think that's really cool too, the way she writes the female characters to be able to do that, because I don't think it's something you see a whole lot in YA fiction or mainstream fiction. The world is very fully realized. It is a complete world. You can tell a lot of time and effort went into her world building. There is not one aspect of this that has not been thought out, and chances are she's going to tell you about it anyway. I think there is some really good representation of healthy relationships in this series. I think that, again, that's one of Sarah J. Maas's strong suits, is she shows you really realistic relationships, and I think that's something, again, that you don't see a ton in YA fiction, or really any fiction. I feel like a lot of the times relationships are kind of the whole part of it, and it's either like falling apart or you're just discovering it, and you don't just get to have like this good, easy, fun relationship, and you do get to do that in these books, and I like that. I think overall, though, this is just, it's a fun series. Like, I like getting caught up in a world full of magic and fairies and things that aren't real life, because, I mean, real life, it kind of sucks. But I think if you're into YA, that you would really enjoy it. So, some things that I don't particularly like about the series. So to preface this, she did start writing these books when she was 16, and I do think that a lot of that shows in this series. I think that it takes her till book like 3 or 4 to really find her stride, when you're like, okay, like she's definitely got something going here, she's found her style, she's really figured out who she is. So some stuff I don't like are I don't like her male characters. I find that they can be really stereotypical. I find like they can be like, a lot of them are really over the top or really dramatic. I feel like sometimes they can be a little bit pushy, and I don't love that about them. But, you know, I mean, it's give and take, you know. I think that she occasionally adds way too much of that fully realized world building into her writing. I think that sometimes there are scenes that you're going to read that you're like, that was unnecessary, or just information that she gives you that's not really necessary. Like when I said this is a fully realized world, like she knows how healthcare works in this world. She knows how birth control works in this world, and she's going to tell you about it. Like, she's going to give you indications of what that's like in this world, which I feel like sometimes it's nice, but sometimes I just don't care. And like I said, I feel like this series didn't really hit its stride until I hit like book 3 or 4. I feel like once I got into book 4, I was like, okay, I want to see this through. Let's see what happens here. But I do think that this book has gotten enough hype, and I do think that that's for enough reason. This whole series is supposed to be really, really good. It's really popular, like with pretty much everybody, or anybody that's into YA fiction, really. So I do think that's for a reason, and I do think that if you're into stuff like this, that you would really enjoy it once you're over that hump of the first couple of books. But, stick it out. Both of those ones are fairly short, so I think you could get through it without too much issue, and I think you're pretty solid. So, that has been my review so far of a Throne of Glass series. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to, support us on Patreon or on here if you guys like the content that we offer. Don't forget that I have a podcast called Drunk in the Library. We release episodes once a week. You can find us wherever you find podcasts. And until our next video, keep reading.